Okay, so the third part to this tutorial, designing a Raygun Magazine cover and double page spread, is to have a look at the double page spread. And you can see here I've come up with a design. Again, I've used Raygun as my inspiration, David Carson, and use elements of the cover in the double page spread, because the double page spread reflects the cover. So the cover artist, whatever, obviously it would be a photo of you, but if it was a famous band or if it was a rock star, then this would be the article that would be the kind of cover article that's being promoted by the front cover. So first of all, I want to show you how to set up the page ready, and we'll then talk about how to create the various elements. So it's the same again, it's an A3 slide, and what I'm going to do is just to find the center of the page, because I want to know where the fold is. Here's a rectangle, double click, and we're going to change that to 29.7 height, and we're going to change it to 21 width, the size of an A4 sheet. I'm going to push it into the corner so that it lines up with the corner, just there, and insert shape and line. And what I'm going to do is just draw a line from top, and it sticks to the rectangle from top to bottom there, like that. And then I'm going to delete that rectangle, and I'm left with a line down the middle. And then what I'm going to do is double click on that line, and then I'm going to change the shape outline to a light grey. So you can see there's my line, so I know where the center of the page is. Okay, so the elements of the page. So to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to use some of the elements from my magazine covers. So the first element is that main photograph, so I'm going to select it and paste it in. And I'm not going to use the same photograph, so what I've done in this photograph, I've got rid of the background. So double click on the photograph, I'm going to go to remove background, and I think by doing this you create more of a rough kind of image. The image isn't completely kind of, you're creating almost like these defects in the images. You could just move the border around a bit until you get the bits of the image that you want, maybe like that, or you could obviously mark areas to keep or mark areas to remove. So I'm going to mark some areas to remove. I'm going to undo that one, so Control Z. I actually want to keep that. Let's see what happens if, okay, so if I draw a line there for some reason, it gets rid of that. Mark areas to keep. So no. Mark areas to remove. So I'm going to see if I can remove a bit more of that. That knocks that out. See if I can get some of that back. I can. So if I just click on the background now, you can see that I've kind of got this kind of floating, this floating head with some of the background. So it kind of, if you were going to print this out and cut it out and scribble on it and rip it, and that you could do that, and then you could take a photograph or scan it back in, or you could do what I'm doing, which is to kind of mess about with the image and break it apart. We're not going to kind of duplicate the image. We're not going to be kind of that kind of clever and try overlays and things like that. David Carson tended not to do that. So you can see in this version here, I've twisted it around. In this version here, I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it that way up. In fact, I'm going to push it a bit bigger so that this color runs in across the spine into the page, and I'm going to kind of use that straight line there as something to align my text to. I'm going to change the color as well. I'm not going to use the same. I'm going to go to corrections, and I'm going to I'm going to make it blurry. I could sharpen it. By sharpening it, it kind of makes it more illustrative. Let's see if any of those do something I'm interested in. So you can. I'm just messing with the brightness and contrast at the moment. It's too much. I'm going to blur it slightly, so I'm going to go to soften 25%, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so some more elements. So I'm going to go back to my cover, and I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to select the this kind of scribble and copy that. I'm going to go back into I'm going to paste it in there. Oops. So I'm kind of recycling elements as well. I'm going to twist it around the other way, and I'm going to turn that. I'm going to copy and paste it. I'm going to leave part of it white, and then double click on it, and I'm going to make it a shape outline grey or blue or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be grey. I mean, it could. I quite like, because I'm going to use another image as well with some yellow or gold in it. I'm going to use that there. Right, sometimes it gets a bit fiddly moving things around. Okay, so I'm going to, if I use this, I'm not going to have it running off the edge of the page. I'm going to keep it within the page. Just make it a bit smaller. Okay, happy with that. There's kind of a balance between the head and the gold scribble. So this page and this page are kind of balanced, although I'm not looking for balance really. Okay, text. So first of all, this is my title text. This is a MGDT, and you can see that it's behind, so I'm going to bring that to the front. Although actually, I'm going to undo that because I quite like it behind the head. West.O. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play, if I can, if I move it out here, I'm going to move my cursor to the end, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that. So west, I'm going to enter, and then what I'm going to do, look, is I'm going to push the N out, so it pops out the other side of my head. You don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. You know, please don't copy me. You know, do your own thing. You can see I'm finding it very difficult to select the west on because the head's in the way. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that to the back for now. I'm going to get the text in position, which is going to be there, I think. Yeah, about there. And then I'm going to select the head again, and I'm going to bring it. Oops. Select the head, right click, bring to front, so it comes back in front of the text. Weston. Again, it doesn't have to be your name. You can use your name if you want to, but you can use your band name or whatever. But you know, it might help if it's a shorter name. But have a play. So yeah, so I'm happy with that. That's my kind of title text. You can see on my other version there, I've only used that title as that title text. It's up to you. You could obviously a different style is big text. You know, really big text that fills the page. Big letters as well. So another way that I could do that is to, you know, I could copy the text, paste it, get my head back in the front, and I'm going to put my Western back together. Whoops. Undo if you move something by mistake. Well, you can move out of the way and then bring that down. Put that back in. Use your arrow keys just to adjust things slightly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that much bigger, and I'm going to switch to one of my other typefaces, which is going to be the Bell Gothic, and I'm going to go for these like really kind of big letters. I like that. I like that behind there. So I'm not even going to use the whole of my name because there's too many letters. I'm going to put that. I like the probably the S as well. In fact, look, I've made a mistake there. I've used a lowercase s, but I like that. It's going to sit against the bottom of the page, which is something that Carson does and Raygun. So completely accidental. That's just happened. That nice bold like that. It really works really well. So that's kind of the main text and the image and the kind of some of the elements. I could bring in other elements in, but that's some of the elements in place. So that's kind of the next stage.